Chapter 16. A Visitor at the Circus. It was just before noon, the sun was high, but the circus was still quiet. A handsome, impeccable dressed man with a cool, unruffled demeanor strolled along the midway, his hands casually resting in his coat pockets. At first glance he could have looked more out of place in these decidedly scruffy surroundings. The trash-strewn ground had likely never been trod upon by shoes as shiny as his. The tattered tents were almost an insult to his smooth-tanned skin, and behind the rusty bars the ancient cage, mangy mane of one regal lion seemed to wilt in the light of the man's prickly, curled silver hair. But if you happened to look closely in his eyes, you might have read the different story. There were eyes of a much older man, much older than this man had first appeared. You could see the telltale beginnings of a crow's feet around his corners, the white in his eyes as a slightly yellowish cast. It was simply a question of age. It was also an emotion of his eyes, the tears, the sight the circus moved him. It seemed reminding him of his lost youth, perhaps, or something or someone from his past. Possibly it was the memory that caused him to stop in front of the greasy old popcorn cart, close his eyes for a moment. He mumbled to himself 4 words. They sounded like a spell or an incantation, or a very odd recipe. Heliotrope, Entranta, Lacrose, peanut butter. When he opened his eyes, 2 clowns, or at least 2 men who had been made up as clowns the night before, and hadn't yet washed their faces since, stood in front of him. Admission is $10, said the skinnier, taller clown, whose name was Maury. Exact change only. Well, if you want to give us $100, that's okay too, said the shorter, fatter clown, Mickey. Just don't expect any change back. Oh, I don't know. For $100 we can give him something back. How about a smile? Mickey grinned. Right, no change, except the change in our moods. Nothing sadder than a sad clown. Why should I pay anything, said the visitor. The circus is closed. Maury nodded. I could have said it better myself. The circus is closed. You pay, we open it for you. And do what? A clown act? I'm getting that for free. Oh, so now you think you can make fun of us, huh, wise guy? Mickey growled. Yes, mister. We make the jokes around here, growled Maury. Your job is to be the butt of them. The visitor chuckled. Easy, friend. For your information, I'm not some rube walking into the circus so you can make me into your next mark. Well, you're not some old crane either. I can tell you that much, said Mickey, studying the well-groomed man in front of him. Not with your fancy sort of European sort of not accent of yours. Yeah, where are you from anyways? Paris? Texas? Maury asked. Mickey laughed. Good one, Maury. Maury took another bow. Thanks, Mickey. I perform here every night. Tell your friends. I'm here to see Pietro, said the visitor, losing patience. Can you tell me where he is? At the mention of the circus master's name, the clowns relaxed slightly. Pietro, why didn't you say so? Exclaimed Mickey. And who should we say is calling for at this god-awful hour? Said Maury. It's noon. That's high noon to you, Maury corrected. And bedtime for us, Mickey added. Tell him it's a relative is here to see him. Relative, huh? Come to think of it, you do look kind of like the old man, said Maury. Sort of newer, shinier version. Mickey nodded. Kind of like when they take those classic old cars and reissue them 50 years later. What are you, his nephew or something? Asked Maury. Actually, I'm his twin brother, said the visitor. He extended his hand for the first time. Dr. Lucina Bergamo, at your service. His brother? Exclaimed the clown in unison. Neither clown moved to shake the man's hand. They just stared in disbelief at the pristine white glove.